Hi, this is Kate. Messages from the Miss Tarot. I don't know that I'm going to be doing an actual card reading for you today, but I have a story to tell. I had a road trip recently, and today is my birthday. Yes, the big 66 is today. So I'm wearing my freshwater pearls that one of my sons gave me that matches the necklace I already had that I didn't have earrings for. So I'm all decked out in pearl today. Yes. So that's fun. I've got a new pair of shoes, a pretty house plant that's in the window, and I'm getting some headphones with the little, the microphone. So those will show up. Anyway, here's what I did. Back in January, on the 11th, it was decided between me and my son Nick that I needed to take the Trooper to Arizona for my other son. They don't have a car. So you got to imagine the struggle. You know the struggle, right? So I take off, and this is on a Sunday, and I get to almost Albuquerque. It's a place just outside a place called Klein's Corner. It's a touristy place, you can eat, you can get gas, it's a convenience store, souvenir shop. But before I could get to that, I got stuck in a traffic jam. It went forever and ever. I just wasn't going anywhere. So I pulled off on the side of the road and actually just laid my head down to get some rest. Because I had been driving since 6 in the morning. It's now about 3-ish, maybe 4. Because I know that I got at the motel around at 5. I get into Klein's Corner and I discover that the power steering pump on the Isuzu had popped. Gone. I've got fluid going every frickin' where. I put some stop leak in it and just nursed it in to the first motel I could get to on I-40. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I can't afford to tow it where it needs to go. I can't afford to shop right now. I can't drive. I didn't know that I could drive it anywhere. I didn't know that. So my cards kept telling me, yes, this is going to get fixed. This is going to be okay. And I could not for the life of me see how. The only thing I could think of to do when I first got there was ask at the desk, do you have anybody here that knows how to fix stuff? And the only thing they suggested was the maintenance guy. He'd be there in the morning. So I just waited till in the morning, and I get a hold of this maintenance guy. And he goes and looks at the truck, and we really aren't sure where this is leaking from yet because it's such a hot mess. And all the reservoir was empty. It was gone. And so I was perfectly offering to help. He has a cousin that fixes cars. I don't know this man. Don't know him. I don't know anybody. And I have my first gut reaction to him is you're looking for a payday and you think I've got it. I freaking don't. But he didn't. Actually what it turned out to be, we'll get there. I had to trust this man with the key. That was the other thing. I can't afford to stay in the motel. I've already paid for 2 nights and only stayed practically a few hours more, not realizing that I needed to catch a bus to go back to Colorado that night. So here we go. I had to trust somebody. So I trusted him. I have his phone number. It's like he took me to the Greyhound and I said, okay, here's a Roku TV and this tablet for your trouble. You can have all the food that I was bringing to the kids for helping me. That seemed, it was reasonable. Well, when I get home, I keep trying to ask Well, what's the verdict? Oh, I've been working full time. I don't know. So he was riding the clock out. New Mexico has an abandonment vehicle thing for 30 days. He's riding the clock. It's like, I'm not buying this. But I had also come to the conclusion that I had to release myself from whatever this outcome was. Just, just let go. There was no other choice, because if I had just left it in that parking lot, it would have gone to an impound yard. Now it's really gone. So, here's what I did. Waited for my payday, for my money to show up in the bank, and took out $300 and grabbed another Greyhound on a Sunday night and showed up Monday morning back at the motel. And I confronted this man. I said, "Where's my truck?" "Why didn't you call?" You could just see his face. He was like, I was like, "Warn you?" Because there was things I was seeing. There was things I was being told about what this was. He fully intended to take my truck from me. He fully intended it. Well, she abandoned it. And I finally wrestled out of him where the address was. Now, I'm going to tell you something. It was almost comical, because I literally watched the wheels come off the bus. He flipped and skittered across the pavement, metaphorically speaking. He's like, yeah, okay, he left the lobby. And it was in the lobby that he assured me and my cousin are going to help you. So there's camera, there's somebody at the desk. You made a promise of what you were going to do. And now I'm having to ask you, where's my truck? The lady at the desk is like, where is her truck? He left the room. He finally just got up and he texted me the address. He gave me the address, said, well, me and my sister will go, it's behind a gate at the house, it's locked. So I'll have to have them unlock it, because he knew it's stolen if you don't tell me where it is. And that's the next phone call I make. So he tells me, well, it'll be there when you can get there to get it. We'll just open the gate. I have Lyft on the phone. Come get me to this address. And the guy was there he was there pretty fast. So I got to that house 30 minutes before he could get there. I listened to him. He's in the passenger side with the window down. How did she get here so fast? Was my truck going to be out in the street area sitting on cinder blocks? My Trooper had brand new tires. Big mud grip, oversized tires. They would have been gone. There's a real good possibility that my truck would never have been able to run again if I had not already been there. If I can't have it, you can't either, was the energy of the moment. I got my truck back. Now, here's what's really cool about what happened. Before I ever left the house, I got busy asking questions with my pendulum, asking directions. Can it still be driven? What am I going to do when I get there? So that I had a plan that was assisting me from spirit. Now you see, okay, this is the diagram I drew. And I asked my pendulum, here's the house. Which direction am I going to go? No. So I kept asking until I knew directions, okay? This is the actual layout of where everything is. This is 12th Street. This is his house right here. Now here I'm going up the street and hanging a left. Here I got on the street and I hung a left. And then I flipped around and I parked on this little side road in between two driveways, and I had a dumpster in front of me. And I'm sitting here on the phone with my son, the one I live with here. I go, okay, Nicholas, I've moved the truck, and I have to stay here because my helper is coming. If I leave, my helper won't find me. I have to stay right here for a minute. I've got the hood up, and there comes a blue truck with 2 men in it. They, yeah, okay. This is a little side road, okay? This is a warehouse, a marble countertop type of place. If you need marble, this is where you go. They come from up here, and they see me, and they stop. And I go, oh, my helpers are here. My helpers are here. And they back up, and they get out of the truck. My son is still on the phone. He hasn't initially been too sure about some of the crap I do and how I do it. This changed his mind, I think. and so I kept him on the phone. So he's listening to these men ask, well, what happened? And I go, well, I'm leaking power steering fluid, and we just go the whole thing. And they say, okay, wait a minute. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to follow us, and we're going to give you my parking spot right there. Okay? Right there. Right off of 12th. I only have to go a little ways because they're going to let me park here. I had access to a restroom. I could lay down and take a nap. I had food with me to eat. And he has a mechanic friend that does his work. And he's trying to get a hold of this guy going, here's the deal with this car. Okay, the ordered. And actually Stefano came up with and I did my own research going, this isn't on the shelf. It's too old. This truck is 30 years old, and they stopped making it. So it's hard. You're not going to find ready, you got to order stuff. So they came up with that too, but they also said this to me. You can still drive it. It's just like cars used to be before power steering. It's hard, but you can do it, and it won't hurt anything. Since the mechanism's already busted, you can't do any more to it, and it won't hurt anything else. Had I known that 3 weeks ago, and this is the other thing, I am 3 weeks into a 4-week deadline. Stefano did not want me to take this truck from him. He had already started making changes. He had already started, and he was sure that he owned it. He even said to me, well, you gave it to me. When? No. There was no trade, barter, nor sale, no. You were entrusted with it to help me figure out what was wrong. But I couldn't get an invoice. It was sketchy. And I knew right from jump it was going to be sketchy. But here's what happened. You see how close these proximities are? One of the questions that I had for my pendulum is, when I move the truck, will they be able to see me from their house? No. Because I thought I was going around a block, but all I was doing was making this weird angled left turn and coming back around. And that's what I did. That's what the pendulum told me I was going to do. Exactly what I was going to do. Also, you would have a helper. I am sending you a helper. Stay in this spot. I even asked, do you want me to go to a public lot? No. No, I don't. I want you to be right here. I had to be where I was. And I knew that before I left the house, because I was shown it. Clearly shown it. Will anyone be home? No, they weren't. Will he delay? Yeah, he tried. Does he intend to harm the truck? Now that's a yes, he really did. How did she get here before us? Can I drive it as it is? Yes. Is my bedding in there? Some. My air mattress was still there, thank God. So that's fine. Find a public lot? No. Will he see me from the house? No. And so that's when I drew the grid. Which direction do you want me to go from their house? And I went exactly that way. And because I was there a half hour early, I was able to kind of walk around a little bit and go, oh, okay, this makes sense to me. It did. Now, these men were so kind to me. His name is Moses, my helper. He had another guy with him whose name I never caught. They were just beautiful to me. But what they told me was, you can still do this. And so it was in the afternoon. I'd had at least a sandwich and sort of a nap. And then I took off. I took off to Arizona. And I made it. I did. I made the trip. My son has the truck, and he's got the skill set to fix everything. He does. He used to mechanic for a landscaping company, and he took care of their fleet. He can do this. He just, but right now he's got to have, the baby needs to get to daycare. We got to get to jobs. We've got to get sometimes even out of town to find work. So, and they were just stymied. I'm sad that they moved from here, and I kept getting that it would be a new start for them there, that it would work out. And it didn't look like it at first, because they went to go live with her mom, and that turned into basically a shit show. So they ended up in a motel. And then they got the baby in the stroller, and they walked to the Veterans Administration. I'm sure it was quite a hike. It was. It took a minute. And because they're homeless, they wouldn't have been homeless staying with mom, because you're staying with family. But they're in a motel. Somehow or another, they got a charity thing where they had been given a voucher for the room. They couldn't. They couldn't. So, by being homeless, he's in a veteran duplex. They pay a third of the rent, no utilities, because he was a medic in Afghanistan. And now he has a place to live. It did work out. She has a job. He's still watching the baby. But, we've got to do what we got to do. Let's fix it. So I stayed a week out in Arizona. And then, and I got to experience Route 66. That was pretty cool, because I'd never been there. I'd never been on that stretch of road. So naturally, I have to get my postcards. What else have I got here? Yeah, I got my Mexico and Arizona postcards. And then I got on the bus and went home. And it's a long trip from out there to up here. It's a 20-hour bus ride. But I did it. Oh, God. But that was my experience. Now, here's these two men. You've got one, I will help you. And I blew up his world. Well, he blew up his own world by being a cheat and a liar and trying to steal something. He never intended to do the right thing. And I felt it, but it's like I'm also being told, my guides and everybody's like, watch this. It's like he's done some other shady crap to people, and he encounters me and doesn't get away with it. He didn't get away with it. So he has been where is it? I've got the coolest pictures of me with my granddaughter, and I'm reading my cards about, how does he feel this morning? Fool. Yeah, I bet you do. And then you have Moses. I can't say it in Spanish, but it's Moses. And he got a choir of angels. He got lifted up. Whatever he needs, blessings and abundance, and oh my God, even though he didn't have to turn a wrench, he tried to figure out, he got answers for me, and he gave me his parking space in front of where he works, so I would be safe and not out on a side street. there's a wee bit of a homeless population that kind of mills about. So he made sure I was safe. And I had a mold. I got to have a bathroom. So yeah, that. And then I rode the bus home. And that was an adventure. So when my son gets done with the truck, probably like, I'm thinking in the fall, because I'm not willing to, it doesn't have air conditioning, unless he fixes the air conditioner. But they have to have a car of their own. And there's work that needs to be done to the truck that can't be done until they do have a car of their own. So he can take off the top end and do some lifters and stuff. And it needs shock absorbers. I mean, it's 30 years old. Things are worn out. Even though it's not been driven hard, things are just worn out. And I think maybe whoever had it last maybe wasn't very gentle with it. So, I have a question. Hold on. Okay. This is my pendulum. And it's an emerald that I got for, I don't remember if it was a Christmas or a birthday. It was like 20 years ago from John, who's no longer here. And I want to say, okay, would you care to answer a question for me today? My guides, thank you. Okay, that's yes. You see it coming back and forth. Okay. All right, now, here's the question. He did it to himself. Let's remember this. I didn't mojo nothing. I didn't hex him. I just like, I caught him. He got caught. And he did it to himself. Now, I'm curious. Did this man lose his job at the motel? Did he lose his job? Yes, he did. I had not asked. I saved it for this. He did lose his job over this. He publicly took advantage of a customer in dire need, an elderly woman in dire need, and tried to take her truck from her. He lied and tried to steal it. And they aren't going to have it because he's entrusted with the keys to the tool shed, to rooms with people's stuff in it, and he's this kind of character. No, they didn't keep him. I didn't think they did because some of the cards I looked at kind of gave me the, he got fired. He doesn't have that job now. I've blocked his phone number. I've got the screenshots of all the correspondence on Facebook that we did about where's the truck, what's wrong with it, what are we doing here? Saved all those in screenshots. But he's blocked, so I don't have to, because he's not a very good character. But I knew that, but apparently this had to happen this way. It had to happen so I could say, look at this is what happens if you listen. If you listen and pay attention. I was literally told, don't move your truck, your helpers are coming. Because I almost was at the point sitting there, well, you sure? And they were like, yes, don't move your truck, they're coming. And I no sooner got that thought out of my head than here comes that old blue truck with the men in it. There's my helpers. And I'm telling my son, they're here. And he's listening to the whole conversation. And then I have to show my kids there. It's like, you got this place, and it's nice. It's only 5 years old. It's very nice duplexes. It's got a garage. These suckers have sprinkler systems in them, and and the VA clinic is right there at the next block. I mean, it's awesome. And I said, if you had not had the problem with your mom and gone to the motel, you wouldn't be here. It looked horrible at first, and it was hard. Yes, with a baby in the motel, and then when she went to go get all of her stuff, I don't know what kind of mama does this, but she set things outside in the yard. She said, well, I'll give you 30 days, and she gave them 32. You're not a landlord. No. You're not a landlord. Even a landlord will give you 2 more weeks. They set things outside, what she didn't choose to keep for herself. Things got ruined, stolen from being outside. It had rained. Their tubs were full of water. Luckily, they had things in a storage unit that they were able to save. But that happened. But that's going to come. That's going to come full circle. Mommy is going to wish, her and one of the daughters and the daughter's boyfriend that started all this kerfuffle is going to really, really, really wish they had not pursued it this way, because the law won't hold up in your favor, honey. Just know that things work themselves out. If they just do, they just work themselves out. And this will work itself out. She's going to have to pay for what she stole, misappropriated, let get destroyed. It just is. So anyway, I've had a grand adventure. It's my birthday. I don't have transportation for a minute, but I will again. Like in the fall, probably. I'll take it's expensive to fly. But I'll do what I have to do. Anyway, I've kept you for like 26 minutes. Thank you for hearing my story. And so the next time you're in a tight spot, listen to your guides, consult your guides, pay attention, and just let go and trust that you're going to be taken care of. If you're doing your part, you'll be okay. You really will be okay. I could not have scripted this. These men have never met, could have thrown a rock at each other. That's how close the house and where I ended up, and I left from that spot and got onto I-40 after they realized you're okay. And it did. It drove like a Sherman tank. Oh my gosh. Sherman tanks drive easier with treads. I don't know what it was like. Going on a straight highway, it wasn't so bad. But when you get into town and you might have to turn and stuff, I won't be able to drive it until it gets fixed. But I don't have to because my son's driving it. And while he fixes it. Because he'll be able to diagnose other things. He'll be like, oh my goodness, we need to fix. So that's my adventure. And thank you for being here. Maybe somebody needs to, they're in the middle of a thing you don't know how to fix. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. You just sit tight. It's going to be okay. All right. I'm gone. I've got to go finish dinner. We're having tacos and a fruit cobbler. And there's still some strawberry ice cream in the freezer. Yeah, I'm going to do that too. All right. Y'all be good.